Hey guys, today I'm going to be reviewing the Turnigy 1/10 scale short course truck. There's a couple things you need to do to get this thing running properly, and I probably have one of the first ones that came into the US and beat it pretty severely for a couple days before I started seeing real issues. But these are issues that can be fixed if you just go through it properly before you start bashing. So we'll get right into it. What needs to be fixed right off the bat? Most importantly is your slipper clutch needs to be loosened. You take this rear plate off of the bottom and you can get to the slipper clutch tension spring. You need to back that off to the point that it actually activates, because mine was too tight and ended up stripping the main gear on my differential. The main bevel gear on my differential started stripping out. It's still working, but I can hear it starting to go, and that's because the slipper clutch was just simply locked down too tight. Okay, so get that done before you start going after it. If you really want to take some time, take your diff apart and put some grease in there. Diff oil inside and then grease on the main bevel gear. That can also help. So aside from that, the next thing you want to do is you want to take all the main ball links that thread into plastic, back them off, put a little dot of CA glue or thread lock if you only have that, and then thread them back in. It's a machine screw, so they don't want to lock into plastic very well. I've had a couple back out. Next thing you want to do is be very wary about the main drive shaft. It's an aluminum shaft, it's very light, it works great, but there's no cover over it. So what happens is you get a bunch of rocks in the chassis and they start grooving it up. I'll show you a couple pictures here. What I did was I used popsicle sticks. I know it's dorky, it's really corny, but it does the job, and glued them to the top. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a aftermarket piece to cover that shaft up, but you know, who knows how long that's going to take. So make sure you cover up that drive shaft, otherwise if you really go out there and bash, it's possible you'll grind through it. The components are actually very nice. The motor doesn't get hot, the ESC doesn't get hot, it's pretty fast as it is, and the servo hasn't stripped out on me. Another issue that I have had is the wheels will deform slightly with heavy bashing, so you want to let those go until they're unusable. And I bet most people wouldn't have a single problem with them, but I was going full throttle through some really rocky terrain, and it ended up warping them slightly. So again, things to fix: loosen that slipper clutch, cover the drive shaft, and take the main ball links that thread into plastic, loosen those up, dab of glue, tighten them back in. There is another weak point in this car that I've seen in a lot of cars. It's just like a common weak point, and that's one of your pivot screws for the steering knuckle on the front end. You need to take that out, put a dot of glue, and thread it back in, because what will end up happening is with all the bouncing around and the steering back and forth, that screw will drop out, and it has a specific little aluminum coupler that you really don't want to lose. I already lost one and had to sort of make my own to reduce slop in the wheel. But most important, like, you can get away with most of this stuff if you just loosen that slipper clutch. But overall, the car is a ABS plastic tub chassis, very similar to a Slash. The plastic components have no problems. I have beat this thing up and haven't broken an A-arm, haven't like seriously stripped anything out. The rear diff is starting to go just because of that slipper clutch, but nothing's snapped. No plastic has broken, which is really rare because I'm used to replacing a lot of plastic bits here and there. So I'm really impressed with it. Suspension is very good. It's very active. Comes set up a little bit funky, not as far as tension goes, but you need to adjust the camber a little bit, because you can tell they just thread them who knows how many times, pop everything together, it looks okay, and throw it in the box. But I had noticed there was a little bit of camber issues with the back end, so you just try to flatten your wheels and then tune from there. But overall, this thing is actually really good. I mean, stock, it's quick, it has a lot of low-end torque. It's not a super fast truck on the top end, but it's for off-road, so you really don't need all that much speed. It's plenty fast to get yourself into trouble. It jumps really, really well, actually. Like I said before, the suspension is good. If you want a little extra tuning after you adjust your camber, you may want to disassemble your shocks and put a little bit of heavier weight oil in there just to reduce the rebound a touch. But you know, I would recommend this. 150 bucks. It blows away the competition that costs twice as much. No, let me rephrase that. It's not going to blow away a Slash. It's not a Slash. Those are really good cars, and you know, this can be as good on a track if you do your work. You know, you got to put that work into it. But really, for 150 bucks, this is a great deal. You're not going to break it. Parts will be available in a matter of weeks. So anything you do break, it's going to be like a $2 part. I mean, you really can't beat that. So thanks for checking out the review. I hope you guys have a great day. Thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you later.